Welcome to Tribulation 515, 2011. Today is May 21st, 2012. It's Monday. Out here in San Jose, California, it's a pretty nice day, man. The temperature is probably in the 70s. They've been, doing the chemtrail thing all day long here over the skies of San Jose. Just plane after plane after plane. I think I'm going to have to just keep going with the doom and gloom, because it seems like, despite the fact that I'd like to focus on some positive stuff, the world is spiraling downward so fast into chaos. If I don't talk about the doom and gloom, all of you out there that have your heads buried in the sand, that think nothing's going on, you wouldn't have any chance at all. So I'm going to go ahead and stick to the doom and gloom. Right now there's a nuclear nightmare forming. Basically, there's bad news and even worse news. The bad news is, on the nuclear weapons front, there is no good news. We got Russia threatening to do a preemptive strike. We got Obama, our glorious president, about to cut a deal with the Iranians, which I'm telling you is just smoke and mirrors. The Iranians are going balls to the wall to continue with their development of their nuclear missile program. And whatever deal our president cuts with them isn't going to be worth the paper that it's written on. So, between Iran threatening Israel and Russia threatening America, our president, the one who got the Nobel Peace Prize and promised to rid the world of nuclear weapons and nuclear Armageddon, you know what? He should return that Nobel Peace Prize, because I don't know why the heck they gave it to him, but he's not earning it and he's not going to earn it, And signing some worthless treaty with Iran, that allows them to just continue on with whatever it is they're doing over there, not good. But now for the really worst news is Fukushima. That's a nuclear nightmare ongoing, and nobody's talking about it. Not the Japanese, not our glorious president in the United States. And, I'm sure the radiation is just pouring across the Pacific, and, whether it's in the air or in the water, it's probably hitting California as we speak. But it's getting even worse, All the reactors are melting down over there, and once again, the dirty little secret, around the world, there's no way to dispose of the spent nuclear fuel rods. Why we haven't been ejecting them out into outer space, I have no idea, because we had our shuttle program going, but we've never done that. And of course, Bush had the Yucca Mountain project where we were going to just bury all of it miles under the ground. And of course, our glorious president canceled all of that the day he got into office, even though we had already spent billions and billions of dollars. But that's Obama's economic policy, which is, who cares? We'll spend as much money as we need to spend because it's your money, not his money. Or maybe it is his money once he taxes us to death. We got the Warren Buffett Tax the Rich program coming up, which is just a prelude to tax everybody for everything they got planned. We got Obama at the G8 summit meeting with all the European leaders, and especially with Merkel of Germany, and saying, forget about austerity. Let's just keep borrowing and keep spending money we don't have on whatever government programs we can. So the economic collapse is on the horizon. I've been predicting it, and, we've had our ups and downs, but it's coming, baby. The complete devaluation of money around the world. There's already been some runs on some banks over there in Europe. And it's just a matter of time before it, comes here to the United States and people start panicking and trying to get their money, which doesn't even actually exist, out of the banks, the rich bankers, the ones that Obama said he was going after but never did, the ones that get richer by the minute. But, Fukushima is a disaster, man. One more earthquake, and you know what? There's earthquakes coming, my friends. Between all the solar alignments, we just had the Ring of Fire the other night, and, pretty much every other day, for the next couple of weeks, there's some kind of, alignment. I think the next one up is Mercury aligning with Jupiter, and then, we got the Venus transit. And if you look we just had the ring of fire, the moon with the sun, but look at the ring of fire around the earth, the Pacific Rim. There are volcanoes going off everywhere you can imagine, from Iceland to South America to Japan, and nobody really wants to talk about it, but it's all related to the sun cycles, and there's earthquakes everywhere. There was just a big one in Italy, and what I'll tell you is the Venus transit. If you look at history, every time Venus transits the sun, about 5 to 6 months afterwards, there is a cataclysmic event. When it did it in 2004, 5 months later was the 9.0 plus earthquake in Indonesia that was followed up with a tsunami that killed hundreds of thousands of people. And in 1882, after Venus transited the sun, Krakatoa blew its lid, and it was the loudest explosion that was heard around the world. And it changed the weather patterns for 10 years. So all that's coming, my friends. And guess what? Fukushima is sitting there melting down, creating a nuclear nightmare, the likes of which we've never seen. It's going to make Chernobyl look like a pimple on a camel's ass, Because Fukushima is like a big-ass boil, man. Going to be popped, and it's not going to be pretty, man. There's going to be pus radiation everywhere. So, look around the world, man. We got animal die-offs happening. We got diseases popping out every which way. We've completely screwed up the planet with all the genetic modifications we've done to our food supply. So there really isn't a whole lot of good news out there, man. It's just a lot of doom and gloom. And I think there's even crazier stuff, World War III, and maybe even some supernatural events that might be occurring. So, the good news is we're in the second year of the tribulation. The tribulation is a 7-year final week where all hell breaks loose, And we're going into the second year, so it's kicking into high gear, man. And those of you that are aware of the tribulation, well, then, you need to hold on to your hats. And those of you that think nothing's going on, well, hey, put your head back up into the sand. And don't worry about it, man. As the world gets vaporized and nuclearized around you, you can just sit there and say, man, there's nothing going on, nothing at all. Turn on your TV and watch your favorite soap opera, or maybe the Snooki on MTV, because that's real. That's what's going on. Snooki on MTV. Or watching your favorite soap opera. And hey, even for some of us, sports. Doesn't matter that the world's going to hell. Just watch the NBA playoffs. You forget all about it. Yeah, that's how it works. So anyway, I'm going to go take my dogs for a walk. I'm going to try and do something positive, maybe pick up an extra pile of poop. Doesn't sound like much, but if I pick up enough of it, might just stop the nuclear disaster that's happening over there in Fukushima. That's right. You heard it from me. In fact, I'm going to tell all my fellow watchers out there, if everybody goes out there and picks up an extra pile of poop, even if you don't own a dog, man, just pick it on up, but I would say use a bag, because doing it with your bare hands, that could be as dangerous as, Fukushima, because radiation, creating thyroid cancer or birth defects is almost as bad as picking up a poop in your bare hands, man, because once you do that, you're going to have to walk all the way back to your house or maybe wipe your hand on the grass. Either way, the mess just keeps spreading and gets worse and stinkier, almost as bad as Fukushima, man. But, the government would be the first one to put up a sign or have a park ranger or somebody tell you, hey, man, you better pick up that poop, otherwise it's going to create a disaster. But they're not going to tell you is that Fukushima is creating a huge disaster. And, for that matter, all the nuclear plants around the world, I tell you what, we never figured out how to get rid of the nuclear waste, and with all the earthquakes and volcanoes and earth change that's coming, all of them should be shut off, go offline right now to avert further disaster. But instead, what we got is our glorious president signing a nuclear treaty that's going to allow Iran to keep bringing theirs online. And I'll tell you what, theirs are probably worse than even the Fukushima, because I don't know who the heck they got helping them, the Russians, the Koreans, whoever, but I guarantee you those nuclear plants, they're not safe either. But nobody's plants are safe, whether they're in Russia, France, or the United States. If we have the kind of cataclysmic events that I think are going to hit us in the next couple of months, the only safe thing to do is shut down those plants now. And I know that's tough because they're supplying a lot of electricity to people. But you know what? If you got a choice of living in the dark versus getting radiated to death, I'll take living in the dark anytime. So, that's basically where we stand, with the tribulation, is that it's rocking along, and the planet is spiraling downwards, man. But, there might be some good news coming up. I'll try and share that with you on maybe my next tribulation post. Because, with all the doom and gloom, you do need some positive stuff too. So, hey, everybody, stay safe out there. Think positive. And, there's a silver lining in every dark doom and gloom cloud. I promise you that. All right. Hey, get your tribulation on. I'll catch you later.